to say 1 second and put a rotation value of 360 degrees or 1 complete rotation on 2 of these values and play it back, you'll see that we're getting some quite dynamic movement there that would be hard to achieve if we left the pivot point, in fact impossible to achieve if we left the pivot point where it was on the text. And I can change those around a little bit to get some slightly different movement again. Then if I was to create another null object and place it at the top, bring up the rotation values to make it 3D, and parent this first null to the second null, and do the same thing at frame 0, we'll create some keyframes, we'll come through to frame 25, and on the Z we'll do 2 full rotations. So as you can see, straight away you're getting some very dynamic movement that wouldn't be possible with the original null placement. And sky's the limit as to how much movement you can give them and how many nulls you can parent to one another to really start to play with it. Now be aware though, there is such a thing called gimbal lock, and gimbal lock is the cancellation of rotation. When you start to rotate an object on 3 axes, at least one of those axes starts to cancel itself out, and you get some pretty undesirable effects. But that's just something to be aware of. If your object is doing some pretty weird things, it could in fact be gimbal rotation or gimbal lock. And there's plenty of stuff on the web that can give you a much more detailed description of what gimbal lock is and how it works. Okay, let's get started. We'll create a new comp, and 720 by 488 square pixels, 25 frames, and we'll make it 100 frames long, just 4 seconds. Actually we'll make it 150 frames long, and we'll just highlight it up here in the project, hit enter to name it master comp. And the next thing we need to do is type in some text. We'll just roughly go in the center here, and we'll just move that so that it's roughly in the center, and we'll highlight that text